we didn't talk much after the Chargers game, but it was a good team win. I was proud of the guys for that. The way we ended up finishing the game on the defensive side was very good. So other than that, we've moved on to the Raiders here. So we look forward to that challenge of playing the Raiders, and we don't really care what happened yesterday. It doesn't matter in the National Football League. I mean, you got to be ready every week, in particular when you have an opportunity to play a AFC West opponent. So it's really about us getting ourselves ready. That's what we're going to focus on this week. The guys will be back in here tomorrow, so that's where all of our energy will go, and making sure that we clean up and get better at some of the things that we need to take care of. So with that, time's yours.
Andy, you've had buys early in the year, you've had them late in the year. Is there any advantage to having one at this point in the season, looking forward?
Yeah, listen, I think it was good to get a little break in there. I got the guys out. We're far enough along in the year to where I felt comfortable doing that, and just letting them decompress there a little bit and get healthy. So these are obviously they're long seasons, and coming this late isn't a bad thing where we were sitting. So.
Is that break any different than normal?
As far as no, not really. No, other than the Monday game. So we came back and met that night or morning, I guess it would be Tuesday morning. So that's when their bye began.
Coach, how does your bye week change depending upon when the bye week kind of fall, like your bye week responsibilities or how you handle your workload, whether it's in the end of the season or beginning of the season?
Yeah. So Mike Frazier does a great job of keeping us up on all the stats and tendencies and so on. So throughout the year, so it's not like it used to be. I talked to the coaches about this. Not quite like it used to be when you didn't have that person to do that. You had to go back and kind of crunch all the numbers yourself, and the bye was quite a little bit of work time for you. But now you can get a couple days off and get out and decompress as a coach and get yourself ready to go for the final few games here. So that's what we did as a staff. It's different than the fact that you have a Monday night game and then you played in Mexico City. So that like you guys, we didn't get back until the morning of Tuesday. So you're short a day there, but that's okay too. Well, there's plenty of time.
Coach, you said you're not going to dwell on the fact that the Raiders only got 3 points yesterday and had probably one of their worst losses, but was there anything in particular that you saw that might kind of indicate that you could expose some weaknesses?
No, listen, I mean, we go through that. They'll go through ours, and I think both teams know each other. This is the 4th time we've played that staff, or I think it is. So, I mean, it's they have a pretty good idea of what we do, and we have a pretty good idea of what they do. So we just got to get ourselves ready. And the way the National Football League is right now, I mean, it's and really has been. I mean, we've strived for parity, and that's kind of where we're at. So in this league, and so you better be prepared every week.
Andy, looking back at that second quarter of that game against the Raiders a few weeks ago, do you feel like whatever you called at that particular point, you guys were going to make it work?
Yeah, I mean, that was a long time ago. That was week 2. I mean, it seems like yesterday, a couple of weeks ago, but I mean, it was a while back. So, yeah, no, I mean, the guys did a nice job with that second quarter there and executed well, and we had the right things up for those particular coverages. But they've got a very experienced defense coordinator who rolls his coverages quite a bit. So there are going to be some good snaps, and there'll be some that might not be so good. But you just power through that and keep rolling.
What do you think of what you've gotten out of your secondary this year, particularly as of late?
Yeah, so I think really statistically we're pretty good in the pass game part of it, and I've seen gradual improvement as we've gone. Better communication, better feeling for the defense, And they're really playing, I mean, they're playing well together. And we've got plenty of room to get better. So we'll keep working at it. But we got some young guys in there playing that are getting better. I mean, that's kind of the bottom line.
Just with the amount of changeover you had in personnel there, did you know going into the season, just because of that communication aspect you took, that it wasn't going to be immediate, that these guys were going to gel together?
Yeah, I did feel that. I mentioned it to you guys. Just I thought that, you know, if you could just strive to get a little bit better every week, that'd be a good goal. You're not going to have every concept down against every concept that these offensive guys are throwing at you. So, you know, that takes a little bit of time and reps and just going through the league here a little bit. So, but the guys have done that. They've done a nice job of getting better every week.
Andy, obviously Ward is a guy that you like him starting for you, has been starting for you. But did you feel like he would advance to the point he's at now in his career, so early in his career?
Yeah, well, he's a big physical kid for a corner. He's got good size and he's a good tackler. He's long, and I just think it's a matter of him, even to this point, just continuing to play, and it's good to see him power through some things. So he's had some good, you know, in his short career here, he's had some games that weren't so good, and then he's powered through those and gotten himself better, which is really the primary focus for a young guy, as opposed to just going in the tank and collapsing on it. So not trusting yourself. At that position, there's no position that you got to do that more than those corners. You're on an island out there, and you've got to have the right mindset. So I think he's done a good job of that.
The bye week is unique in the sense that you do a little bit of self-scouting. I know you won't get into the details, but in what areas do you think maybe the offense could be improved in some way?
Yeah, so penalties, we've got to take care of those. It's affected us in the field. It's affected us in the red zone. We've got to make sure that we clean that up. And that's something that we can do, and it's probably pretty obvious thing. The other things are smaller, and I'm not going to get into those, but if we could just take care of that, you know, we'd be better off all the way around. You get a penalty in this league on a drive and cut your percentage of opportunities to score way down. So you need to get rid of those.
Coach, the fact that Tyreek Hill didn't go into the locker room or stayed in the locker room during the Chargers game, how optimistic are you that this is not one of those lingering type issues and he should be fine this week?
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. We'll see how it goes, but listen, I'm optimistic. So I mean, I know he loves to play the game, and I think you know, he's been with Rick a bit this past week, but he had some things that he had to also take care of, and so you know, I'll see tomorrow how he handles things. So he'll get out and move around a little bit tomorrow.
A couple more guys.
When it comes to postseason play, it's been a while since both the Chiefs and the Raiders, more so on the Raiders side, had played a game this late in the season that meant something as far as the chances to make the postseason better, and the fact the game got flexed. Just how good is it for the National Football League with two franchises that are rivals like this to play a game this meaningful this point in the season? Yeah,
you always know when you play the Raiders that it's going to be a battle. They're very well coached. I mean, I've got a lot of respect for John Gruden, and he is a football coach, and he's also a friend, obviously. But he's got that group going, and so they were coming off a 3-game win streak there, and or 4, but they were on a roll, and so and now you put things on the line here. You get towards this part of the season, and things count for both teams. So it should be a great game, and I know Arrowhead will be rocking here on this Thanksgiving weekend, so they'll be ready to go, and it should be a great environment for a game. I think we'll get decent weather, so all in all, it's good football weather.
The last couple of weeks, late in the game, offensively, one drive against the Titans and a few against the Chargers, the offense just wasn't moving at a pace they'd like it to, obviously. Is there anything changing there late in the game? Is that something the defense is adjusting to? And then what do you guys do to improve on that going forward?
Yeah, so we've got to do a little bit better job collectively, whether it's the calls I make or execution, just when we run the ball, we've got to do a better job there. So, and be a little bit more productive. And so with that, I mean, that would be the primary thing. When you have a lead, that helps keep the clock rolling, where you don't have to use quite as many short passing. You're short passing in quite as much. And you're able to keep a productive blend, you'd say, so.
All right.
Okay.